Hi everyone, it's me Nikki here, and today I'm going to show you how to take your old furniture pieces that are worn out but are in great condition and sturdy and make them refreshed and new again for you. My sister and brother-in-law recently built a absolutely beautiful new home, and they had some old and dated furniture pieces that they wanted to keep and take to the new home, but aesthetically they weren't pleasing to the eye, and they wanted to revamp them and make them new so that they would fit in with the new home, because that new home is absolutely beautiful. And so they knew where to go. They called their sister-in-law Nikki, and I was up for the job. And so I'm going to take you on that journey. Now, project one was an old china cabinet. Now, my sister-in-law came up with this phenomenal idea. She had this china cabinet that was absolutely dated, and this is it right here. And so she said, she wanted to take the top half of this cabinet and she wanted to use it in her laundry room for storage, and mount it on the wall above her washer and dryer. And the bottom half she wanted to use as a TV cabinet in her great room to put her flat screen TV on, and then to store the kids' DVDs and the DVD player and things like that in the bottom of it. Now, initially looking at this, you would be like, I don't think so. But you guys, it worked out phenomenal. It absolutely turned out beautiful. It's up to date. It's funky. It's just gorgeous. Everything turned out great. So what I want to do is I'm going to first show you how the things turned out, the top part and the bottom part, and how I went about handling that. And then I'll show you my process for getting it to that point. So me and my husband, we worked as a team, as we always do, and we got the job done. It was a lot of fun. It was my sister-in-law's vision that we were able to bring to life, and we were so happy about it. And so the first part was the top of the china cabinet. This is the after. That old china cabinet, the top part is now this beautiful, vibrant white piece that we mounted on the wall. Now, as you're seeing it now, it's not completed. There's still some more things that we're going to do to finish off this piece, and it's going to look absolutely great. So as you see, it fits on the wall perfectly. It's perfect size for that room. Ignore that the dryer is not pushed back yet. We were still installing that and everything, so that's why that's pushed out a little bit. But it really fit that room perfectly and gives her the storage that she needs. Now, we haven't finished it yet because we're going to take a piece of wood and we're going to attach it to the bottom here to make her a shelf. And then what we're going to do is get some beautiful espresso color baskets, lined baskets, to put right here. 3 baskets are going to go on top of the shelf, and it's going to give it a completely finished look, and it's going to give her great storage here on top here. She'll have storage for her laundry detergent and items like that, and at the bottom she can store things like socks and mending and things like that. But when it's finished, it's going to fit that room perfectly, and look, it's a totally new piece. You would never thought it was the top of that old china hutch that you saw in the before picture. It really came together. We just simply sanded down the piece. I painted it a white. I took the glass out and took my hardware off before I actually did the piece. Primed it in a white, and I painted it in a semi-gloss to finish it off, and it just was a new piece. It really took very little effort to do. And you would have paid big money going in the store purchasing a kind of cabinet like that, but taking the top half of this off, adding that shelf on the bottom, you wouldn't have recognized this old piece. Now, as far as the bottom, this is the bottom finished piece. It is such a lovely piece. You can go in HomeSense, Home Goods, and all those places and see these type of pieces all the time for $600 and $700. This was absolutely simple to do, and it's such a statement piece in the room. Her decor is a lot of teals and greens and things like that, and this color is not coming out the actual color on the camera. It is a beautiful turquoise color, and that's the color accents that she has in the room, along with greens and turquoise, and it's just really beautiful. And so this piece was a perfect fit now that it's finished. And I distressed it because I wanted to give it a distressed look. I thought that was a great fit for it. It was a great fit for the style of the piece, and it really, really showcases well in her great room now. I simply, actually my husband did the sanding and the priming. He sanded the whole piece down, primed it. I came in and I painted it with this green color. This is not the color that you saw of the piece. This is an undercoat. And why I painted it this seafoam green is because I was distressing this piece. When I went to sand and distress, I wanted little pops of this green to come through on top of that turquoise. So that's the purpose of me first painting this whole piece this seafoam green. Then, you guys, the great thing about making over pieces that you have that are dated or old is that if you make a mistake, you can sand it back down and do it again, or you can paint over it. You can play with it, and it's not a piece that you went out and invested a lot of money, because you probably were going to get rid of it anyway, and why not just try to make it new again before you do so? You can save yourself a lot of money and really, really update pieces with a little bit of paint, a little bit of sanding, and just a little bit of your work from you. And it's not, a lot. You just want to make sure that you do sand your pieces down before you do it. You want to prime it with a nice primer, and then you want to go ahead and paint on top. I tend to use semi-gloss a lot of times, but you can definitely, whatever look you want, you can use high gloss, or enamel is actually the best to use. And then here is the piece finished with the green top. Now what I am ready to put on my blue, and this blue is called Peacock Blue. It's not coming off the same color on camera as it is in real life. It's really a beautiful turquoise color. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And so my husband, he basically cut in with the brush as I rolled on. So we work as a team when it comes to that painting, because it gets the job done twice in twice the time, and half the time, I'm sorry. And so putting the blue on, I just used my simple roller here, and I rolled on. One coat of the blue did fine because I had put the green under. When I put the blue on, it went on fine with one coat, and I was distressing it anyway, so I was fine with just one coat on it. And I did the doors and all of the pieces, and then we let it dry. And then once it dries, I'm ready to distress. And when I distress, I just simply take my sandpaper and I'm rubbing off that blue paint slightly and kind of distressing and looking as I go to kind of see if the look is fitting the way I want it to fit. Because this is where you kind of eye it, because you're gonna, just sand off a little bit, stand back, see how it looks. You sand off a little bit more, stand back, see how it looks. And you just keep working with it until it has that beautiful distressed look that you want, And you can put all the doors on the pieces, on the piece, and then distress it so that you can get a better eye for it. I kind of did my doors off of the piece because I kind of knew, I knew as I was going, it was looking like I wanted it to look. And if I needed to do any more distressing once I put it together, it still was time to do that. But once you distress it, this is kind of how it looked, one of the doors. I put the hardware on it so you can kind of see the look I was going for. And I really loved how it turned out. You can't tell on the camera, but when I distressed it, that is the green coming out of there. And it really looks just beautiful. It really, really turned out beautiful. So this was the old hardware that was on the piece here. And so initially my thought was I'm going to update the hardware too, because again, when you have pieces, you can kind of, buy new hardware and update it, and that totally will revamp the piece also. So I had this silver piece here, pull here, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna change them out. But then after doing the piece, I thought about it and I said, no, I needed to keep the old hardware on there because it really fit the piece. It looked great with the turquoise. In my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's home, they have more bronze tone pieces and accents. So, really to put this silver piece on there would not have done it justice, and I'm glad I didn't go that route. And so here's the finished piece. It was such a statement in the room. She got so many compliments off it, and they both absolutely loved it, and it made us happy. She's going to sit their flat screen TV on top and then put their DVDs and everything in the bottom. It makes a great TV case. It works great in the room with her accessories because, again, she has like green and turquoise chevron pillows, and she has accents that are turquoise and green, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Now, project 2 was an old table. Now, this round table here was one that my mother-in-law gave to my sister-in-law. As you can see, the picture's not very good, but as you can see on the top, it's very worn on the top, and it was just in storage somewhere. And it's a very sturdy table, very good bones, very beautiful shape, but it just was worn in a very old table. But it was very sturdy wood, it wasn't rickety or anything. So same process. I sanded it down, I put my primer, and I painted it white, and it's actually drying here, so that's why it's opened up. And it just really turned it into a beautiful piece. You can go in Pottery Barn, and you can go in Pier 1, and I've seen this same. My table is kind of the same style that I had got for Pier 1. It turned out great. It fits her home. Her home is a brand new home. It has a light and airy feel to it. It's very beautiful. Everything's shiny and new, and this table now is shiny and new, and it fits into it. It's just a dramatic change for just a little bit of sanding, a little bit of paint, very inexpensive to do. And she has now this china cabinet that was split into two, that turned into two beautiful pieces. Again, this is not a finished product, but when it's finished, it's going to look great. The TV hutch is just phenomenal. It's such a statement piece in the room. It's so up to date. It's so gorgeous, along with this table, which fit nicely in their home. And so everything really came together great, very inexpensive. I hope this provided you with some type of inspiration for your home. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. And this is Nikki saying goodbye.